giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grande and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What, are you nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
If you invest in the stock market, take a moment for this important advice.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You've got to stop listening to the fake business news networks because they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Phil Grande guides you step by step on investing.
You're going to know exactly what the tone of the market is. Do I sell? Do I not sell? Do I buy?
All you need to know is philsgang.com.
Check it out, philsgang.com, philsgang.com.
What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
And welcome back to the Phil's Gang. Now, for those who are still chasing the Magnificent Seven and the mega stocks, you're making a big mistake. The big money, institutional money, has been rotating out of those stocks and going into the bank stocks since January, actually even before that, but January and February. But we still have people chasing those same stocks. If you take a look at the bank stocks and what we got into, especially, and I'm putting up the charts right now, if you look at XLF, you can see how strong the bank's been. You can see it on our chart right here. This is our color-coded chart. We got a buy signal back here on November 13th. And if you compare now that to, let's say, Meta, okay, it's a big difference. So you can, again, you see this big gap up. When you see big gap ups like that, that's not strength. Everybody thinks it's strength. That's not strength. It's exhaustion. And you notice when a stock gaps up like this, and all of a sudden it just runs out of steam. You can see it back here in the volume. So, but if you take a look at any of the bank stocks, like our JP Morgan or Caterpillar is another stock, it's an industrial, but JP Morgan, Citi, these have all been fantastic stocks. We got into Citi back here as well in November. So we started to rotate. We saw what the big guys were seeing, what the hedge funds were seeing. The hedge funds were dumping. They started dumping January. We started to rotate even before they did in November. And then we continued because if you take a look at the hedge funds right now, they have dumped Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. It's no longer the Magnificent Seven. It's like the Fabulous Four. Then it's going to be the Fabulous Three. So my point is, if you're still in love with the tech stocks, don't make the same mistake everybody made during the dot-coms. They just stayed with them to the very end until they got crushed. There's other opportunities. And if you look, I'll put up on my chart here, and you'll see, if we put up our bank stocks, hold on 1 second here. Here we go. Our oil stocks. Look at our oil stocks. XLE. Unbelievable. In the oil stocks, we started getting in February. That's February we got into the oil. Look at them. They're up about 10, 12%. Another one is one of our MRO, MPC, OI. Look at them. They're outperforming all the tech stocks. And we got back, and this was here in January is when we got into MPC, and that is Marathon Oil, OIH. That's another great stock we got into. So while everybody's jumping back into these big tech stocks, we've been doing well, as I said, with our long positions on oil, our long positions on the banks, and of course we started buying gold miners, and they're starting to do well, and they're going to do better because I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're going to see the bond market, okay, turn around, and you're going to start seeing the dollar starting to go down, okay? So as the bond market starts rallying back up again, you're going to see the dollar dropping because the dollar, again, follows the interest rates or follows the yields. So for those who are ignoring gold, and that's the thing, you got to buy these stocks when nobody wants them, when they're not popular, like we did with the bank stocks here. So again, and then we also got into industrials, and those have been doing terrific. GE, for example. See back here, we got into GE in November. And in our color-coded chart, you can see it right here. It's a wonderful chart. We designed this. It gives us a buy signal. It follows the hedge funds. It follows the money. The algorithms follow the money. So again, you can, if you want to participate with us in some stocks using the Pro 2, you get it free for 10 days, and check it out. But it does work. And again, as I said, don't be mistaken and keep thinking these tech stocks are just going to go higher. In fact, don't be mistaken thinking the stock market's just going to keep going higher. Yes, this is a momentum market. There's no question about it. And when you have the momentum, that's why we're staying in the banks. That's why we're staying in the energy stocks and the oil stocks, because that's where all the momentum is. That's where all the money's going. And again, look at JP Morgan. Look how that's been performing. That's been doing better than any tech stock. So between the oil and between the banks, these are pure momentum. That's where we're staying. I suggest you do the same thing, and also industrials. like our Caterpillar and GE. So that's where the money's going. So please don't make the mistake that everybody did in the dot-com and just blindly keep buying the hot stocks. You know, it was interesting when I think it was Wednesday that Powell had his the Wednesday meeting with the board, and they're not going to raise rates, but they said they're going to raise rates. They're going to raise rates at least 3 more times. Not at this meeting, but they're going to raise rates. You know, that's how this market's been rallying. They've been saying that forever. We're going to raise rates. We're going to raise rates. We're going to raise rates. And that's what's been driving the market since October to where we are today. That's why this market's up over 10%, because they keep saying they're going to drop rates, and people jump in and buy. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're not going to drop rates. I've been saying that all along. It's impossible for them to drop rates. If you take a look at the rates today, the short-term Fed rate, it's at over 5%. It's been that way for 9 months. And when the PPI and the CPI came in hot, you didn't see them change rates, did you? No. Rates are going to go up. Look at, they're going to do everything they can to convince you they're going to keep cutting rates because they want the stock market to keep going up between now and the election, but don't fall for it. And they're going to say how great the economy is, how great the labor market is. I mean, listen to this.
The labor market is extremely strong. So from that standpoint, I do think we're in a good place.
All right, remember that? That's Powell. The labor market's strong. Labor market's strong. They've been using 2 things to move this market. Labor market is strong. That's the big thing. And, we're going to cut interest rates. But you know what they're not using? They're not using earnings. There's no earnings. They're not using productivity. There's no production. That's right. They keep using the same fake narrative. Now listen to this. Now he changes his mind. This was Wednesday.
How can we be talking about
I'm sorry.
But if there were a significant weakening in the data, particularly in the labor market, that could also be a reason for us to...
If there was a problem. He knows there's a big problem. Here's why.
How can we be talking about a buoyant labor market when there has not been one net new full-time job created in the United States over the 12 months to February? How do you square that circle to a narrative that we really have a robust labor market on our hands?
So now you know why Powell has switched from...
The labor market is extremely strong.
...to...
But if there were a significant weakening in the data, particularly in the labor market...
See, you just can't trust these guys. Powell, remember, he works for J.P. Morgan. He works for Citi. Those are his bosses. J.P. Morgan Citi owns 73% of the stock of the Federal Reserve. So he works for them, and they want to keep this market rallying. But don't buy stocks on what they're saying. Just buy the momentum.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that could be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro. Phil Grande. Take advantage of the special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Right. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com. I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, okay, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
So when you go to the household survey, you're going to see that all the jobs and then some that have been created in the past year have been in part-time work. So if you're trying to answer the question, why have claims remained so low? Well, if you're a part-time employee and let's say you do get laid off, you're not really eligible for unemployment insurance.
I know they're so dishonest, and that's why, again, when we're investing in stocks, we don't listen to a thing they say. We follow the hedge fund money, we follow the insurance money, just follow the money. And again, just to show you on, if you take, for example, we rotated out of the big tech stocks, and we rotated into FedEx. And you can see on our chart here, the color-coded chart went from red to green, and we're up now in FedEx about 10%. We did the same thing with copper. We saw an opportunity with copper, FCX, to rotate out of the big tech stocks because Apple was going down. I mean, none of them were looking good. And we had a nice rotation into copper, and we're up 13%. You can see it right here. But remember, our color-coded chart gave us that signal, that buy signal, that helps us big time because it gets rid of all the noise, okay? And we developed these charts ourselves. Now, again, we have a group of stocks we're working right now that we call our dog stocks. These are stocks that have been left behind, and we think, and FedEx was one of them, but we had two oil stocks, Schlumberger and Baker Hughes, and they're just starting to take off. And you can see perfectly on Baker right here. See, when it went from red to green, it told us to buy. It told us the money was going in. And same thing with Schlumberger. So what was happening is all our other oil stocks were up big. And so they came back to pick up the laggers. And if it wasn't for the color-coded chart telling us buy, 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 we would have never caught these stocks. And so again, we have another group of stocks that you can join us, and it's free for 10 days. Other stocks that we're getting buy signals on our color-coded chart, and you're more than welcome to join the gang for 10 days and check it out. Now, again, when they keep telling us how strong the labor market is, again, I don't know why they say that, especially when you get one net new full-time job over a year. And we lost 276,000 high-paying jobs, and we replaced them with low-paying part-time jobs. But nobody tells you this on the financial shows. Or, remember, the Empire State. When you get the Empire State Survey for manufacturing, that's the most important one. If that's in trouble, they're all in trouble. All states are in trouble. We got that one, and the manufacturing survey came in, Empire, minus 29. But they're telling us how great everything is. And that meant the manufacturing sector was now at a 4-year low. And again, all this consumer strong. Here, listen to this guy here. This is unbelievable.
The consumer is in a much better spot.
How's he in a much better spot? He said he's in a much better spot this year. How is he? When credit cards delinquencies are at up 50%. 50% delinquency. What's he talking about? And 49% of the car holders are making minimum payment. They don't pay it off. And they're paying an interest rate, historic interest of 22%. So they're paying $22 on every $100 they owe. People are getting crushed. Auto delinquencies are up to a 14-year high. 14-year high. So you got credit card delinquencies, historic highs, auto delinquencies, historic highs, personal bankruptcies up 17%. But will they tell you the truth? No. That's why, again, when we're investing, we invest using a chart that identifies where the hell's the money. I don't want to hear the noise. I don't want to hear the noise. I want to know where is the money. So, again, it's insane. And, you know, if you think about it, since 2020, let's not even go back to 2009 when they did all this increased money supply. Remember, since 2020, the spiders have been up 130%, the NASDAQ's been up 144%, gold's been up 48%, Bitcoin 293%, homes 48%, all because of increased money supply, not earnings. Not earnings. None of this is coming from earnings, and that's a real major problem. This is a pure momentum market. So continue to stay in the stocks, the bank stocks like we are, okay, the industrial stocks like we are. That's where all the money's going. Banks, industrial. That's where the hedge funds are going. Stay with the momentum until it doesn't work anymore. and you'll be fine. Now, they said, as they said, they're telling us how the country, is very strong. That's all we hear, how the country is very strong. Well, it's not strong. It's not at all. What makes the country strong is productivity. That's what makes a country strong. But just like I said, all the money supply was increased. That's what's pushing everything up. When you need productivity, because from productivity you get earnings. Our national debt relative to our economy is the highest debt since World War II. Since World War II. That's insane. And we're at 34 trillion. Now, debt can be fine. You can use debt if used wisely, i.e. business investment. If you use debt and you use it for business investment, because business investment increases productivity. It drives earnings. That drives stocks higher. You get a higher price on your stock. Business investment drives production, drives cash flow. That leads to increased wages, increased savings, which leads to increased consumption, increases economic growth. That's not what's happening. We'll talk more about that when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So, as I said, we rotated. I mean, we did really well with Apple, Microsoft, the same stocks you've been in. But we knew when to rotate out of them. We got into the banks, we got into oil, and we got into, our banks, oil. What other one we had? Banks, oil. Oh, our gold stocks. Thank you, our gold stocks. So those three areas, we did terrific. And they're still going up. They're still going up. In spite of the fact that this market, everything's been going up. Everything. But not by earnings. That's what people don't understand. It's been going up because of deficits. Deficits. Look, everybody doubts. Anytime I say we're going to have a crash, nobody believes it. Just like when I said that back in 1987, by the way, okay? When I said that, nobody believed it. Nobody, until we all came back from lunch one day, the market was collapsing. Remember, productivity is what drives everything. Drives your wages, drives everything. And the idea is that if you have productivity, okay, and I understand, look, debt is okay. If you use debt wisely, that's fine. Because using debt wisely, i.e., business investment for business investment, not stock buybacks for 15 years, for business investment. And this is where the problem lies. They did not put any money into business investment. This whole thing's been built on smoke and mirrors. But yes, people made a fortune for 15 years. Because remember, increased production is what drives earnings, which drives the stock price higher. Business investment, again, drives production. Production drives cash flow for a company. That leads to increased wages, increased savings, which leads to increased consumption, which, remember, is 70% of our economic growth. And that leads to the increase in our standard of living. So yes, debt, if used wisely, is okay. And then what happens is when our standard of living goes up, then people start small businesses. And small businesses, startup business, is the backbone of our nation. But we don't have any more startup businesses. Can't even get a loan. And see, what it does, when you have production and you have earnings, that gives you a strong economy, and strong economy keeps inflation low. We don't have a strong economy. They lie and say it's strong. Everybody looks at the stock market, oh, it must be strong. No, it's not. As I said, you don't have a strong economy when you have record deficits. Just like you don't have a strong economy when the labor market, they say, oh, the labor market's strong, when we haven't had one net full-time job in a year, and all the jobs are part-time crap jobs. No country's economy is strong when the debt is historic and deficits hit a record $1 trillion. And the reason for the deficits, because Congress, the president, keeps spending more than the tax revenue. They're not willing to control debt because they truly believe spending going wild or spending like a drunken sailor is okay. It's okay. And even Reagan said, if I can find it, even Reagan said,
we could say they spend like drunken sailors, but that would be unfair to drunken sailors because the sailors are spending their own money.
He made a great point. All they do is keep printing money, and it makes everything go up. But it stops, because now what happens when you have a deficit that hits a record $1 trillion? And remember, they're not willing to control these deficits. They're not willing to control debt, because who is controlling the Federal Reserve? Wall Street. Remember, J.P. Morgan, Citi own 73% of the stock of the Federal Reserve. And look at the money the members of Congress are making, trading stocks. They want the market to keep going up. They don't care about the guy on Main Street. They don't care. So they're spending, Congress and the president is spending far more than our tax revenue. And the consequences, which nobody looks at, is we have a decline in economic growth, we have a decline in earnings, and increased interest payments on our debt. And the biggest consequence, which I see people in commenting, when I mention inverted yield curve, they go, oh, what's he talking about? We've had an inverted yield curve now for, 2 years, 3 years? I don't care if it's 10 years. Since 1978, look at history. We have had 6 recessions. Each was followed, these recessions, each one of these was followed by a recession. Recession. Every time since 1978, we had 6 inverted yield curves, and every one of those 6 inverted yield curves were followed by a recession. Now that's history. That's not me saying it. And I read comments and go, oh, don't worry about it. He's wrong. Forget about the inverted yield curve. Forget it. It's been around 3 years. Really? Forget it? With that kind of history? 6 times it inverted, 6 times a recession. Now, it doesn't always guarantee you're going to go into a crash, but you'll go into one hell of a correction. Doesn't feel very good. So, what happens? The president comes out with our historic deficits. Now, think about this. 1 month, the month of February, we had in 1 month an increase of 16%. 16% in deficits. 16%, 1 month. That's insane. That's insane. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. And in February, as I said, how can you have a 16% increase in deficits when you have an 8% increase in tax revenues? That's unimaginable. And then Biden announces right after that, on March 11th, he announces, I'm going to spend $1.2 trillion over last year's budget. His budget's $7.3 trillion. He's going to spend $1.2 trillion. He doesn't have it. We got to borrow it, or we got to print it. This is nuts. But in the meantime, until this market crashes, just keep and join us. So you're in the right stock group. As I said, you'd have been in the banks, you'd have been in oil with us, you'd have been in gold with us, while you're sitting here losing money in Apple. So again, just go to my site, philsgang.com, and just join. And you can follow us along with the news. We got some stocks that our color-coded chart has pointed out. Several new stocks that are lining up nicely. Now we got this from our color-coded chart. It's never wrong. It's never wrong. It always identifies for us which stocks we should be in. It's never wrong because it follows the money. So, just like Reagan said, these people spend like drunken sailors, right? But at least drunken sailors paid for their own booze. Our Congress and our president just keep spending like wild men. And they don't care about the inflation. They don't care. And remember, it's destroying it destroys every dollar because they keep printing money. But guess what? They stopped printing money. I'll explain that next. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone. Learn off of them, one-on-one. Now, that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars. But I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's Gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Again, join our gang. We have, as I said, and I showed you on our charts, we have wonderful returns on our banks, our oils, our gold, and we are just picking up our color-coded chart, the Pro 2, just picked up buy signals on some new stocks. And why don't you join our gang for 10 days? And you can share with us those new stocks. That, again, the color-coded chart's never wrong. It's always tied to where the money is flowing, not somebody saying, buy this hot stock, stock they're in. When you get a buy signal, there's no ulterior motive that, hey, they want you to buy this stock because the guy on CNBC, he's invested in that stock and he wants that stock to go up. No. The Pro 2 just follows the money. Where's the money going? So check it out, okay? Now, again, listen to what Powell said about the balance sheet. Now explain.
What we're really looking at is slowing the pace of runoff. There isn't much runoff among MBS right now, but there is in treasuries, and we're talking about going to a lower pace.
Yeah, going to a lower pace. Here's what he's talking about. We have QE, all right? Now, QE is where they print money, they go to the banks, they buy from the banks their assets, and the Fed takes the assets, put it on their balance sheet. The bank then takes the money, and then they go to the companies, to the CEOs, and they give them the money. Remember, zero rates. They don't use the money for productivity, which would grow our nation, which would make us solid, which would grow earnings. No, they use it for stock buybacks. But stock buybacks are over right now. Okay, I mean not over. But right now, the debt is no longer, you can't borrow money at zero. So if the Fed printed $20 million tonight and it goes to the bank, say, here, we're going to buy $20 million of your treasuries and your mortgages. There's your 20. Now go to the banks. Now take your money and go lend it to the companies because our economy's slow. We got to get the stock market up so people think the economy's doing well. So tell them to buy their own stock. Well, they can't do it. It's too expensive. And corporations are in big trouble right now. They're going to start tanking and going into bankruptcy. They built up so much debt that they didn't have to pay any interest on. Now they're paying 5, 6, 7%. So again, one of the things that's hurting, is this could happen. The Fed, because of all of the stuff on the balance sheet, all the treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, but especially the treasuries, what they do is when those treasuries are paid for, they don't roll them back in. They let them roll off the balance sheet and they go away. They just go poof in thin air. And same thing with the dollars. Poof. Nobody knows where the dollars go. Nobody knows they just roll off. So that will bring down the balance sheet from 8 trillion to, let's say, down to 6 trillion. Well, that gives them a little comfort that the next crash we have, to get the crash going like we did in 2008, like we did in 2018, like we did 2020. Remember, all the crashes, we had all these interferences. Remember, every time the market pulled back 10, 18, 20%, every time they pulled back, they would stop it from going into a crash. They'd pull back 18%, 20%, but we never go into like a 40, 50% crash, because they could print money and go to the banks, and the banks would take the money and give it to the CEOs to buy their own shares to push the stock market up. Well, now, guess what? They don't have any room on their balance sheet. So if the market crashes again like it did in 2020 or 2008, a big crash like those, they can't help out. They can't get the stock market going again. They can't do QE because there's not enough room. There's not enough room. So they're in trouble. So we have, and what's happening, as I explained to you before, the reason why the Nasdaq's up 144%, gold 48%, Bitcoin 293%, homes 48%, SPY 130% in 2020, because they put all this money in, not earnings, okay? It was all, again, remember, for stock buybacks, and they put all, and what wasn't being used for stock buybacks, they were putting into the economy for the homes, putting the economy for Bitcoin. I mean, just crazy. But now prices are so high. The prices of everything are so high. We could be hitting a period of deflation, which will really kill us. Because what's happening is people stop buying. They stop consuming because they just can't afford it anymore. 20% of a person's check is going just to food. So that shirt that was $35 he'd like to buy is now $65. He's not buying it. So what happens is demand stops. So then stores, this happened in 2008, finally companies start lowering their prices, trying to get people to buy. It never works out. What happens is they start laying people off. Then they get into bankruptcies and the economy gets worse and worse. We are heading towards deflation, which is worse than inflation. And another thing that's bad about deflation, as prices go down, even people who have the money could go buy that shirt that was $35, now it's $65. They don't buy it. They don't buy it because they're waiting for it to go lower. So we're in a mess because deflation, okay, keeps driving, okay, inflation. All right, so again, this is a bad scene. The other thing, too, that I wanted to talk about was, I said debt is okay if you use it wisely. They just passed a bill today for more debt going to go on our balance sheet. $850,000 for a gay senior home. They're going to build the government's funding a gay senior home construction. $100 million for training for diversity programs to teach employees and other people to treat everyone as an equal. $15 million to pay for Egyptian college tuitions. No, not to come to our colleges in the United States. We're paying for Egyptian kids to go to college in Egypt. $400,000 we're paying to a gay activist group to teach elementary kids about being transsexuals. Can you imagine? $400,000 that we're going to give, you and I are giving to gay activists to teach kids in our elementary schools about being a transgender. $400,000 to provide clothing to teens to help them hide their gender. Now here's the kicker. They passed it, even though it said in the bill, okay, that it includes giving 13-year-old children chest binders, tuck equipment, and counseling without their parents' consent. Are you kidding? I just is just amazing. They got to get rid of the speaker. They got to get rid of the speaker. What speaker in his right mind would ever take on more debt with this stuff in there? Are you kidding? Even if it was, even let's say it's okay, but not now. Not now. Can't we wait? We got bigger battles to fight. We got bigger battles. So what's going to happen is, I think you're going to start seeing soon deflation. I think you're going to start seeing QE. They're going to switch back to QE because you heard him say he's going to stop the QT. Remember, they've been doing QT to try to get room on the balance sheet. So if there's another crash, they can create another fake bubble, another fake rally. So I think what they're going to do is go back to QE, but they won't be able to lower rates. You know why they can't lower rates? Because they don't have any money. Because they've used all the money. They've taken all the money out of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. They borrowed money at every agency, and we're going to end up like we did in 2019 with a repo blow up.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.